All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Free Daily Coaching. This morning is a Wednesday, February 24th. Had a little furry on my head. Good morning, and welcome. I see that there's people joining us and just popping on, so good morning and welcome. I see the regulars crew is here, so good morning and welcome. I see Shouse is in the house. I see Mr. Jeffrey is here, rocking it. I see Mario is here, Debbie D in the house. We got, this is fun because it rhymes. I don't know why that's fun. It's just fun for me. We got Debbie D and Steve Suri, right? And they're like right next door neighbors in states or almost neighbors. I think Debbie's over in Arizona and then Steve's in Colorado. So they have a little like New Mexico border in between them. Who else? We got Dr. Simons is here this morning. We got the marvelous Dale Whiteside is here. We got Kenny Bill probably from Colorado, but seems like it's early for him to be in Colorado. So maybe there was like a transfer layover, or maybe he's coming to us from Utah. Who knows? He's Kenny B coming from undisclosed location. We got Mr. Len Mooney with us this morning. Good morning, Len. Welcome to see you. And of course, the Mr. Craig Kassler is with us as well. So we got our YouTube viewers viewing in. I wanted to talk this morning on a specific subject. And we've been over the last week and now into this week, we've been talking about goal setting. And I wanted to talk about a specific component about that because I've had a couple conversations over the last few days, both with a few mentors, with some colleagues, and with some clients. And something that's been coming like back as this theme is this idea of the passion that you have. And so today we want to talk about building with passion. And the reason that I want to talk about this is because when you have a passion, when you have a desire, when you are truly wanting to get an end result, your willingness to take action is almost uncomparable. It's almost unmatchable with any other amount of energy, with any other power force, right? If you think about that, think about the things that you've wanted to do so much in life that they literally have overridden everything else, and you've just gotten to that accomplishment. That was pure energy. That was passion, right? So what if you started building your business? What if you started building with that passion? And what does that have to do when we circle back? What does that have to do back with our goals? Well, we've had this goal and we've been showing the build out of this Goat Village project. And we made Goat Village as kind of a fun little like marketing deal because people loved our goats and we showed them online once and people loved it. So we just kind of rolled with it because we had the goats for like health reasons and for fun, right? Just to have the fun idea of having the goats and the chickens in the backyard, but then being able to have the fresh milk and the fresh eggs. So we were doing it to live a healthier, different way of life. And then we were sharing it with other people and they responded. So check this out. When I say build with passion, we have no idea about how we're taking a risk. Let me say it this way. We're taking a risk when we build out this goatvillage.com, when we go and get the cameras and we spend the time to get the cameras set up. I literally spent hours yesterday on the computer with the hosting service and the guy that works for the hosting service. And we literally had to like have him connect to my computer like remotely, just like I do with many of you guys to work with you, so that he could come in and help me configure the routers and open ports and do all of this like back-end technical stuff so that they could have access to the feed, right? So that then we could stream the feed, right? Literally. So this is, and I want to show you guys so it's pretty fun. So this is where we got to yesterday. I created a bookmark to where one of the feeds is. Let me go to the bookmarks here. Where'd I go? Hold on. Indoor. So we got all the way to where we could get both of the camera feeds going. So you can see Burt Bledsoe Indoor. This is where it's being hosted. But when I push play, and especially since we're broadcasting now, it's probably even more. But when I hit play, it's going to take like a minute or two to upload. So we'll come back here and then we'll see if it actually uploads. It'll take a minute. And the reason now, so we found another glitch. So I get amazing download speed where I live. Like, I mean, or we have the ability to get even more, but I have really good download speed, right? But my upload speed is super slow. So I'm getting just like 1 megabit per second. And I need at least 3 to run 2 cameras and at least 2 just to run one decently. So I had to call yesterday to get the service. Let me see if this popped back up yet. Okay, so it did. So let me do a share over here. So let me do my share. So now you can see that we have the camera and the feed's running. But if we look at it, it's like 9:04. So it's a few minutes behind. And you can see that, it's still trying to buffer because my upload speed takes too long to upload to the feed, right? So yesterday we got all the time to be able to get this up and get this ready. So we're excited about that, right? However, another technical obstacle comes in the way that we're not getting enough speed. So now I have to call the ISP, my internet provider, and say, hey, can I get more upload speed? So I have a residential account and they said, yeah, we can give you, but all we could give you is 2. So that order's in and it said the guy said between 24 to 48 hours. So it should be sometime, this morning, afternoon, like noonish, I would guess. That would be 24 hours. So I'm going to recall to find out and make sure, verify that order was placed. And then I'm going to look into business. If you get a business service, you can get more upload speed than the 2. So I'm going to see, hey, can I just get a business account? Because that's what I'm using it for. And if I can, then that will increase the speed. So what does this all have to do with building with passion? Well, we don't know exactly how it's all going to play out. We don't know how many people are going to come to the goatvillage.com cameras. We're doing this because we have a passion. Check this out, because we have a passion to build our lifestyle into what it is that we're doing for a living. Like, we're trying to create the life that many of you are trying to create. This idea of having a home-based business that's built, that's centered around what you have a passion for, what you actually want to do, right? When we think about people that are, let's take a multi-level marketing company, for example. When we think about people that are part of multi-level marketing companies, and we think of the different kinds of companies that are out there, we think of when people join a company, they join something that would align with their way of life, right? So maybe like someone that's living a healthy way of life might join something that had to do with health or nutrition, right? Someone that was like maybe an insurance salesman might do something that has to do with security or financial security or insurance or something to do with that, right? Because that's aligned with what it is that he's doing in his life. Maybe someone is trying to lose some weight, and so they join a weight loss company because they've been using this supplement that's been really beneficial for them, right? So it's in alignment. So they're trying to, in essence, create this lifestyle that is congruent with their business so that it's all one thing, that they're living, right? That they're living out and they're participating on a regular basis in their business. And so that's what we were originally, that was the idea, to be able to create freedom, okay? Time and money freedom. And then the next idea from there was, okay, how can we take what we've learned and move to the mountains up in Colorado and have a retreat type place where people could come and visit, right? That was the next part of the goal. So we were living the passion. That's what we want to do. We want to be able to have the ranch and do the marketing and show people how we could do both. And so that, because everyone loves the idea of the ranch and most people don't live out in the country, that they could come and visit, they could come and stay on the ranch and have this private experience and then do all the marketing, right? So that opportunity came about this last summer in this move to Nevada, that we had this amazing place to be able to do that, to be able to create that, okay? So we put those things in place. We just kept living our passion and building as we go, right? We just kept building as we go. We put the idea out there and then just kept taking the required actions to move towards that. And as opportunities arose, we took the opportunities, or we passed on certain opportunities, right? And we kept on building. This is the key factor. We didn't know always what the results were going to be. Sometimes we just took action because that seemed to be the next indicated step. That seemed to be the next appropriate step, even though we didn't know what the result would be. When I went and bought the camera 2 weeks ago at Costco, this home security camera, I didn't realize that 2 weeks later, I was going to have to up my ISP service and get different cameras and wire it differently, and the power source was going to be different. Had I known that, I would have ordered all that stuff, right? All together. We would have done it in a different way. So there's definitely going to be times and instances where in building your passion, you're going to get disrouted. You're going to get, off track. Things are not going to be exactly the way that you imagine. However, if you really have a passion for it, if you really are going to get it, want to get the result, if that's really what you desire, then wouldn't you do just about anything to get that? So what would you be willing to do? Would you be willing to spend a day on the phone, like yesterday, like half of a day, talking to a guy across the country, trying to set up some technical thing that no one understands? I'm telling my wife, and she's like, I don't know why you're talking to me about this. And I was like, okay, never mind. Right? Like, because that's what's required to get to the end result that I want. Am I willing to take the next step and the next step and the next step? And in your business, are you willing to do that? Even though you may not know exactly, because I don't know exactly what Goat Village looks like. I don't know exactly how this camera thing plays out. I don't know all the details. I just have this big picture idea of how it could be amazing. And you probably have this big picture idea of how your business could be amazing and how you could be helping all these people, how you could be changing people's lives, how you could be influencing other people, how you could be selling products and services to people to build your business so you have a viable storefront, virtual storefront maybe. The question is, when you see that big picture, are you willing to take whatever actions are necessary to get to the end result? Whether it's boring, whether you want to do it or not, are you willing to do that? And we talked about this a little bit. I don't know if I talked about this. I know it wasn't yesterday, but maybe the day before, as I actually had the opportunity to sit down with someone that a colleague of mine that I've worked really close with in the past that does a lot of organizing and working with some big marketers, and was able to sit down and say, hey, these are the projects I'm working on. And she was able to take an independent view, an unbiased view, and say, okay, this is the priority. These are the goals that should be done. And then literally put it into this, like a software program that she uses, and then gave me access so that I could log in and say, hey, go do this, go do this, go do this, go do this, right? These are the things that need to be accomplished. And so as we're accomplishing things here for the online part of our business and building and doing that portion, in addition, we're getting some physical things done, right? So one of the things was I had to find one of these companies. I had to get this router thing all figured out. Well, I didn't realize that was going to take a day. I thought that was going to be like 10 minutes. Like the dude was going to log in and make magic happen. But that wasn't the case. Why? Well, because unforeseen obstacles. We didn't have the code for that specific camera. My IP address wasn't, we had to go through a double router. So 2 firewalls, because I have an extra router set up in the system now. Right. So there was all these like little mini things that we had to do and then go back and then redo and then check. And then we did all of that and the speed wasn't up to snuff. So if you've done a project where you did the whole project, you got all this done, and then you realize, oh, this other piece isn't in place, so it's not ready. And when you get to that place, what do? Do you give up? Do you just throw your hands up and get frustrated? Or do you say, okay, hold on, boom, plant a flag here. Make a reminder in my computer. What am I waiting for? What needs to be accomplished? What piece needs to happen? What's required now for this to be complete so that I can have the total follow through here. And when you have a passion, when you're building with passion, you'll come back to these flags. You'll come back and you'll do things, and you'll do them even if you don't know what the end result is going to be. Why? Because you have a passion and you got a vision up here. You got a vision in your imagination, in your mind, in your mind's eye of what it can be, what the future is bringing, where you could go. So the only way to get to where you could go is to actually go there. And a lot of times that requires taking that passion, taking that energy and pouring it into the project, no matter what, and pushing through. And I've said this so many times. If something takes you longer than 15 minutes and you're doing it by yourself, ask for help, right? Unless you know that it's like an hour-long project, right? Like if you know that the sheer volume of what you're doing is going to take you longer, that's great. But if you're going to do something that you've never done before, and it takes you 15, 20 minutes and you are just making no progress, why not simply reach out and ask for help? Go to someone that's already done the task that you're doing and ask for help. Allow yourself to take leaps and bounds and move forward. Oh, there it is. Okay. So allow yourself that opportunity to build with passion. And that's it. If you truly have a passion to go out and help people, if you have a passion for a specific product, a service, what are you willing to do today to go out and make that happen, to proliferate that? Really, what are you willing to do? Right? We talked to Dale in goal setting, and what she was willing to do is doing some things that she had never done before. Doing some things in her marketing that she hadn't done prior to that. That's what she was willing to do. And then she was willing to repeat those actions again and again and again to build that skill set. Dr. Simons, I talked to recently, was on the fence. He wasn't sure about making some of the posts. He wasn't sure about being, right, how he should present it online. And yesterday he was willing to just take the action and just make the post. Just go ahead and do it, right? To go ahead and take the action. I'm sure each and every one of you can think of an example where you just said, okay, I'm going to go for it. Let me give you another example. Chris Schaus decided, hey, I'm going to do some stuff too. So she made Schaus in the House coaching so she could start her own program. So she could start building her an entire audience just for herself. Right? What were the actions that were required to do that? Well, she went and created an email. She created a new YouTube channel. She started creating coaching. She started sending out the videos, right? Like there's multiple different steps in that process. Why? Because she had a passion to go out and help other people learn what she had learned. Clyde Jeffrey just rank advanced in My Lead System Pro recently. Why? Because he has a passion for that system, and he goes out and shares that on a regular basis. He's inviting people to check out the webinars, to check out different products and services. And guess what? On the back end of that, because he's sharing it, because he's passionate, because he's showing people the system that he's using, he's getting a result. So building with passion is key. So identify what is it that you're passionate about? Where do you want to focus your energies? And then go and take those actions. That's simple, right? And this is the reality. And we've talked about this before, and we'll say it again. You are not always, right? You are not always going to enjoy all the actions that you have to take. That's a reality. Some of the actions are just not going to be something that you want to do. You can either push through that, or as we talked before, some of these things, after you learn how to do them, you can simply outsource those tasks. So building with passion. I'm waiting for now. So you guys have a little update on the Go Village project. Now I'm waiting for my upload speed to go through today. So hopefully that will happen. I'm going to go call this business service and see if that's a reality, if I can have that here. And while we're doing that, we're going to take the old camera system down, reconfigure these now to look exactly where we want them to look, right? Dial them in. And hopefully as that happens, the upload speed, our speeds will increase, and then that portion of it will be completed, right? Then we'll be able to then take the link and put it onto the site, put it onto a website. So, and we have that all as part of the list of items to be accomplished. So building with passion is absolutely key. And each and every one of you has a passion. Each and every one of you has like a desire to go out and do something, whatever that is. You can build that into a business. You can take that energy and that passion and build that into prosperity for you and your family. The question is, are you willing to take the steps required to get there? Because there is no difference between the people out there having success and you. There is no difference. They're people just like you. The only difference between where they're at and where you're at are the results they're getting. Why are they getting different results? Because they're taking different actions. That's the exact answer. They're taking different actions, so they're getting different results. So if you want different results, you got to take different actions. And an easy way to start changing your actions and changing your behavior is start building with passion. Don't do something just because you think it's something to do. Do something because that's what you want to do, because you have a desire to do it, because it's helping you grow towards where you want to be in the future. And when you do that, people will be attracted to that energy. People will absolutely know that that's what you're doing, that you're building with heart, that you're building with passion, that you care about what you're doing. And that energy then translates to caring about helping those other individuals. So I would like each and every one of you to go out there and live with passion today. If you have any questions, as always, get in touch with me and watch as we take pictures today. We'll take pictures and we'll post, and I'll try and get, since we have Wi-Fi out in the barn now, and hopefully that'll stay connected as we're disconnecting cameras and stuff. Maybe we'll do a little live stream, and maybe we'll definitely post some pictures and stuff. And as we're building this out, so we can show you guys. And I'm to seeing each and every one of you as your passion starts to pour through into what you're doing each and every day in your business. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here at Free Daily Coaching. This evening, they're doing another amazing training. And I'm going to send you guys all off to that Wednesday night webinar hangout so you can grab that. And we'll see you guys the next time. Hey, Shouse.
Hey.
Hold on one sec.